Hey everybody, I'm Steve Kreiner, the Dog Soldier, and welcome to this week's Predator Hunting Podcast, Plain and Simple Predator Hunting. Hey listen, if you're not familiar with Plain and Simple Predator Hunting, or you're listening on iTunes, don't forget, go to youtube.com/DogSoldierTV, subscribe, and click the damn dinger. Tonight's podcast is brought to you by Winchester Firearms and Ammunition. I'm telling you right now, if you want to kill a lot of coyotes, you want to kill a lot of predators, period, without blowing them sky high and get a little money for that pelt, remember Varmint X ammo from Winchester, and I've been shooting that Coyote Light and loving it for 3 seasons. With that being said, listen, sit back and enjoy. You damn sure better buckle up, because the Plain and Simple Predator Hunting Podcast starts now. Hey everybody, what's going on? Steve Kreiner, the Dog Soldier here. How's it going? Welcome to Plain and Simple Predator Hunting. This is a fun little podcast. I have a little fun with it. I've been doing outdoor TV for years, and I tell everybody I got the face for radio, so hey, I'm just torturing you guys so you can watch it on YouTube. I love this podcast. I love everybody that's watching, and tonight, I'm just going to get right down to it. Tonight, we have our very own Scott Hampton. What's going on, Scott?
Oh, not much. It got cold here today.
Oh, yeah. I tell you, what's the temperature there, man?
Well, it's only 20, but with the wind, it's brutal. It was about a week and a half ago, and it wasn't too bad, but this 20 feels like it's way worse.
Yeah, I tell you right now, it is cold and windy, and it's a bad deal right now here in Wyoming. It absolutely sucks. I can't ride my Harley. I can't get outside. Hey, for all you guys watching live on YouTube, listen, we are dang lucky that we're live, period. And it says we have good stream health. I tell you one thing we're lucky about is here in Wyoming, the internet sucks. So I might look like a Chinese guy doing the whole, kind of crap. But anyway, let's get this thing started. Scott, have you been hunting lately, man?
I've been one time in probably 3 months.
Uh-oh. That ain't no good.
I know.
Well, that means that you're on top of everything that you need to be on top of. The wintertime, don't it feel good, though? I mean, don't it feel good that you're just kind of chilling out a little bit?
Yeah, I bought a place with a metal building, and I'm finishing it out, and I'm going to live in it. So that has occupied every second of my free time since October 15th. And I wish I could hunt some, but I got to be an adult for a little bit until I get all this done. I got to have a roof over my head. Yeah,
I tell you right now, being an adult absolutely sucks. Sorry about that. You know what? I've been working my back off. I've been traveling a lot, filming episodes, doing stuff like that, and then we're flipping this house here in Sheridan, and just kind of rolling with that. Our boy Kelly Jackson's been tearing it up, ain't he?
Yeah, yes, as always.
Boy, he never misses a beat. I remember the first time I met Kelly. I think it was at one of them Oklahoma club deals years and years ago. But, I've seen him at a few contests here and there and at a few hunts. And we were talking the other day, me and Stearman, about somebody being so humble. He can joke around and poke a little bit and have a lot of fun if you're all you know, obviously friends and stuff, but he's pretty damn humble for what that guy can do, ain't he?
about Kelly, you know, I've spent a lot of time with him, just me and him in the truck, me and him, you know, on overnight trips in the bunkhouse, just, you know, watching TV, and he's the same dude, whether it's like that or there's 1,000 people watching. And he just, he's hard to beat, man. He's a killer, and he's just, as a person, he's a good guy. And I feel very privileged to get to hunt with him and hang out with him, and, you know, have somebody like that you can call him and say, hey, man, I've been doing this, and it's, you know, this is what's happening. What do you think's going on? What do I need? You know,
Yeah.
And he'll share with you, and you know, he's just he's a solid guy all the way around.
Yeah, I think Shaw's out there hunting right now, I believe.
I'm not sure. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know. But
I talked to Shaw the other day, and he said he'd hunted with Ronnie. Oh, his name just freaking Shepherd, and then he was headed down to Kelly's, I'm pretty sure. But it's been kind of a different season for me. I've kind of missed you. You've been busy.
I know. I mean, I can't. I went hunting. I went with my buddy Trappin' Vance, and we made 3 stands. We called in 4 coyotes and didn't get them killed. I didn't have a round chambered on a beautiful silver-colored coyote that was 100 yards, and the gun just clicked. And then, of course, Vance missed him because Vance can't hit the side of a barn. But
Shoots like me.
Well, no. Vance can trap, but he's not that great with behind the trigger. But
yeah.
Anyway,
you know, for people that don't know us right now are probably going, oh my gosh, here it comes, or the trash talking has started and we ain't even 8 minutes into this deal.
No, Kelly, him and Clay hunted that New Mexico deal, they killed 25 coyotes in a day, and then they had to drive all the way to the other side of the world to check in, and they killed 1. They had time to make a couple stands. They killed 1, so they killed 26. And then Kelly and Aaron just won a big contest in Colorado, and then Clay and his partner, they got in that world deal, and they won second in it. And
wow.
Just, you know, same old thing year in and year out.
Yeah, I would love to run them contests again. You know, I hunted the World Championships, me and Clay, in 2009 and 10, I believe. And man, I'll tell you right now, I just can't. It's like howling, you know. I feel like I can howl pretty decent, but you know, them MFK guys, they eat, breathe, and sleep howling. I can't win. And you know, that's my deal. It's me and you come from a roping background, so if we can't win, it's hard for us to get on the horse. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, my thing is, there's a lot of contests that are put on. They're put on right, and they weed everybody out that you wouldn't want in them. But around here, there's times that me and my partner Brent, we'll go out and we'll kill enough coyotes to win every contest within a 100-mile radius. And then there's days where we don't kill a coyote, and but we just don't get in a hurry. We hunt, we have a good time, and we go on with it. And I don't know. I don't like hunting contests, and a lot of it has to do with the one that I did enter. There was some cheating going on, and it just seemed like everybody wanted to turn a blind eye to it. And
yeah.
But hey, there's plenty of them that are on the up and up, and they're honest, and that's great. You know, some of my best buddies like to hunt contests, and that's all they do, and they're damn good at it. But it's just not for me.
Yeah, you know, I don't quite. It's kind of died off a little bit, and I've talked to some people, not mentioning no names, but people pretty close to the World Coyote Calling Championships right now. I haven't heard here lately what's going on, but you know, I wish I knew more about that. That would be a great podcast. And I'd like to talk to some of them guys on the podcast, but they're Fox Pro guys, and there's a little bit of black tape there that we can't get cut through. But you know, I don't mind somebody turning something really great into a business. I'm addicted to small business and everything like that, but you gotta, it's like building one house a year. If you build a house really great this year, you're gonna probably build another one and maybe two next year because the word of mouth keeps going and going and going. Well, if you try to build 20 houses in one year and you screw them all up, nobody's gonna call you to build a house.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I'm not quite for sure what's going on with that deal. I know there was some things talked about, having a board and boards from all sides of the earth, different sides of the fence, which I don't honestly, and I'll say this to the guys that I was talking to about it, I don't honestly think that's going to happen. Um,
Well, the thing about it, there's a lot of big contests, and that world contest just has a title, a name.
yeah,
It has that name. And to me, when you got guys like Clay and Kelly, and there are numerous others, they get out and they hunt. Man, they don't just hunt that one contest and make a big deal out of it. They go hunt everywhere. And there's times that those guys, they hunt contests that might have a 12 animal limit, and they'll have 12 animals killed by 10 a.m. And then there's times that they might not kill two in a day and a half, but they always go. And
yeah,
whenever they get beat, they're humble. They'll shake your hand and pat you on the back and legitimately be happy for you. They don't pop off a lot. The good guys, they don't run their mouth. They don't need to because
that's right.
people will talk. People will talk for them. But whenever you're having to boast and brag and all that to try to pull attention to you, that ought to tell you something. And that's damn sure a good way to lose friends, because there's a guy
Yep.
out there that I'm going to say he lost more friends in 2017 than anybody that I know, and he lost some that were damn sure good ones, and they they won't be there for him when he needs them from here on out. You can
Oh
bet on
man,
that.
I don't guess I know this story. I wish I could talk you into telling me, but
Nah, there's not even any point in the naming names,
yeah,
but there's so many guys out there that can kill coyotes, and they kill them consistently, and they know the game, and I mean they're good at it, and
do you
you know
think? Do you think? Now we got a good conversation going here. I like this, and hopefully the people at home do too. Do you think? Let's take contest guys and TV guys and professional ropers or bull riders or whatever. Let's put everybody that is actually you know kind of succeeding or whatever you want to call it in a box. Do you think
mhm.
like a guy sent me a picture tonight on Facebook. He said, "Hey, I was talking about the dog soldier page and this guy come on and of course he said, my ego was overrunning me and I was a product pusher and everything else. Do you think sometimes things just happen and like if a guy goes on a streak, ain't it human nature for people just to talk crap and want people to fail, I guess? Do you think you see what I'm
Oh
saying, I
yeah,
guess?
yeah. Misery loves company, and those that aren't successful, they're gonna hope that the successful people aren't either. And shoot, I've never been the best at anything I've done, but I've never been accused of giving less than 110% either, and that's where I
Yeah.
win. And there's going to be people. If something good happens, I had some good things coyote hunting related happen to me a few years ago. And son of a gun, man, you talk about find out who your friends are.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, and it's the things about it, the things that happened. They were cool, but it's not like it was life changing or I, yeah, people are going to be there's going to be jealous people regardless
Yeah.
of who, but winners usually aren't jealous.
That's the thing, and it's human nature. I'll sit back and I'll try to. Well, you've hunted with me before. You know how my business operates, and I posted a meme a while back. Don't misunderstand or don't misread my confidence for arrogance. I like to be a confident guy because I feel like confidence is how you win. And I look at that when it comes to business and everything else. And I tell you right now, as a TV guy, and you know, and in your shoes, I know what you're talking about, the instances that happened to you and stuff. You know, we both have done some pretty cool stuff, and we both have lost a lot of friends for it. Uh, and I catch
Well,
myself.
no, I gotta correct you there. I didn't lose any friends. Those weren't my friends.
Well, you're right. You're right. You know, it's human nature. I catch myself all the time. Today, and it actually comes back. I think I'm worse now that it's got back to social media and Facebook. You know, um, I read today where this one entity won this thing, and it was just this and that and this and that, and I was just like, I was just in my head being like, no, it's not that way. No, it's not like this. This is so much BS. But you know, I'm happy for them. You know, if I was in their shoes, I'd forget all the real stuff, I guess, too, for a second, and be like, yeah, I won something. You know, I think it's just nature, and I don't know. You probably maybe not been watching just plain and simple as far as the hunting industry, but did you happen to see Michael Waddell's video last week he posted on Facebook?
No.
So Michael Waddell started talking about, you know, how us TV guys, including him, have misrepresented the sports and have turned the tables and actually turned hunting into something something it's not supposed to be. And I sit back and I think to myself, you know what? I don't feel like I'm guilty of that. Now, yeah, I get to, you know, be on TV or whatever, which is absolutely nothing to me. It's a job. But, you know, I've always been trying just straight up, plain and simple, just say what I want, do what I want, try to be real, you know. But, you know, like Michael was mentioning, I think Michael mentioned, I didn't watch it, Bill was telling me about it, but, you know, there's little kids, 16-year-old kids now posting deer of 120-inch deer saying, oh my gosh, you know, it's not the one I was after, but I guess he'll do, and shit like that. And it's just like, holy crap. And me and you seen this happen to coyote hunting a long time ago, you know?
Hey, I got to clarify something here.
Okay.
We're going to break off the TV deal real quick. Trappin' Vance, I've got to stand up for him. He did kill 3 coyotes this weekend. I didn't witness it, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna believe that he did kill 3, and he got out of having to buy me a ribeye, even though I didn't witness the shots. So let me clarify that. He usually misses, but this past weekend he somewhat redeemed himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the TV deal. Yeah, it's changed stuff. I mean, and I'm not a deer hunter, but 120-inch deer, man, when you get right down to it, I'm going to say 85% of people that hunt deer have never killed a 120-inch deer and never will.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if you're going to manage your deer and try to kill big bucks, yeah, you can't shoot those deer. You got to let them grow. But you also, people don't realize, if you don't have the ground, you better shoot that deer if you want to kill a deer. So it's, yeah, the TV deal. And another thing, like, there's one show that the guy on it, he pushes products, and I think it got on my nerves, but I know that he's got to do that, because whenever you're promoting the product and you've got somebody writing you a check to come on there and say, yeah, I use this and I use that, and you know, that's what pays the bills. That's what buys the TV time. That's what, you know, pays for production. That's what pays for cameramen, equipment, you know, expenses getting there. But yeah, it's, I don't know. It's,
me and you both have lived it firsthand, and I'm telling you right now, it is not. Gosh, if only people knew. And the only thing that's going in my favor now is TV shows are dropping off, you know, every day, and mainly because they haven't treated it like a business. They've not, you know, done their homework a little bit. So it is opening the TV market up a little bit, but I think we got to get back to how it used to be. Years ago, it was you was watching hunting, and yeah, people promoted product. That's our job. We have to. But we were talking about hunting. We were talking about the enjoyments of hunting. We were doing things like we want to do them. And, it's getting to where nowadays everybody thinks it's funny because they start a Facebook page and they're a new outdoor group, or they're new this, or they're doing the best this. And they don't even understand what a like means anymore. So, and the marketing directors have all changed 360 now. And so it's helping a lot. But for us that's going to survive, we got to really pay attention because, man, it's tough. You remember getting up early out of bed and having to hunt all day?
Well, the thing about it, and everybody's like, everybody wants a TV show. Man, I wouldn't have a TV show. I make good money. I've got a damn good job. I've got great benefits. I got retirement. I wouldn't do what you do if they doubled my money. People don't realize how shitty it is and how much work is involved with it. It's a job. It's like anything else. And I know you still enjoy hunting, but
oh yeah,
you've got to kill coyotes, and you might have 2 coyotes come in and they're over there perfect and everything's all great, and the camera guy can't get on them. That doesn't mean nothing. It's worthless.
Yeah.
Just all the stuff, the travel, the sleeping on the crappy beds, the eating the crummy food, and the conditions. I mean, really, it's not. There might be half a dozen people that it's glamorous, but for the rest of you guys that are making it and being successful with it, there's not as much glamour as people think.
No, it's a full-time gig, and I guess we can talk about that a little bit, I guess. My job I hunt less now than I ever have in my whole life. I don't ever remember walking this great dirt we call the United States of America without hunting all the freaking time until now. The last 10 years, the first year, or year one of me in the TV business, I hunted hard and I tried hard and I still try hard, but back then, I was working for Hunter Specialties and it was a little different deal. And I tried and I tried. Then year 2, I tried and I tried and I tried, and then clerical duties come into play and sales calls and marketing meetings, and just things get over and over and over and over. So now, I hunt less now than I ever have in my life. And what I hate, Scott? I hate getting up in the morning and thinking, I got to drive 15 hours to my spot. I'm going to be there 7 or 8 days. I need to film 3 episodes, and then I need to move on. I don't like thinking that way.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It sucks. And, people, because being around on the TV side of it, hunting with you and with Tim, just the amount of time that you have to spend catching phone calls, returning phone calls, being available at a certain time during the day to accept a phone call, all this stuff. And, man, it's, I'll pass. I'm out. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't want to do it.
That's why I like them trips. I like them trips like the ones me and you done to Kansas and Oklahoma. Having somebody like you behind the camera, it takes a little bit, and I don't mean that bad. I mean that good, because you're fun, you're easy to talk to. Things can go wrong, and you're still positive. And, me and you've scared a couple coyotes in our life together, and we've killed a lot of coyotes in our life together, and we're going to do it more. But I catch myself now trying to take the edge off little different ways. When I go on these hunts, I might, when I had a full-time camera guy and every camera guy all the time, it does turn into the monotony just gets out of hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's work.
Yeah, that's for sure. You remember Kansas? I'll never forget Kansas. like we killed 12 or 14 coyotes in 12 stands or something like that. I'll never forget that.
Yeah. Day and a half. We were going to hunt 3 days to try to get the footage we needed, and we were done in a day and a half. And you had just met Emily, and you were homesick, and you went home.
Yeah, you had to throw that in there, didn't you?
It's true.
Boy, you're in a good mood tonight. You just bust everybody's balls that walks close to you.
And I will also point out that this year when you went to CNS in Kansas, and then when you went out to Todd's,
Yeah?
you didn't kill shit. I wasn't there.
That is true. I think, let's see here. I filmed, I think I killed 6 coyotes at CNS, and then I guided some guys for 3 days that killed 4. And then when we went to Todd's, I killed 2 cats. I killed 2 cats and 6 coyotes, I think, maybe. And I was there, you know, I worked my ass off for them too. They weren't given to me.
There you go. That ought to tell you something.
Yeah. Man, I'll tell you what, it was Todd is great. Susan's great. The boys are great. Matter of fact, Cole, he just got engaged. And I'll tell you right now, that's a good trip. Next year, if I can swing it in the right situation, you need to just come and hunt. Just come and hunt with me, you know. This year I had a new camera guy, and it wasn't a good trip to, you know, it was kind of weird, but.
Well, Todd's a little touchy about Jimmy's bull, so I have to kind of be careful about that.
It's not Jimmy, it's Yimmy.
Jimmy's bull.
Okay.
I have to throw that up to him every time, and he usually ends up cussing me and won't talk to me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. What? I would tell that story, but Todd may not want me to tell that story. It's such a good one.
I'll tell it.
Hey,
anyway.
speaking of stories, the predator hunting industry is getting a little shook up right now. You know, the Fox Pro and MFK relationship. Didn't really see it coming. As far as MFK and Dog Soldier, you know, everything's still good there and everything like that. You know, I hate Facebook. Have I said that before, Scott? I was telling a guy the other day, I said, me and Al, we'd see Fred Eichler or Les Johnson do something on TV, and we'd call each other. Well, it was a year after it happened, you know, and because, you know, all of us always aired a year later. And now it's everybody knows everything in a split second, and holy crap. Have you go ahead. No, you go ahead.
How about what?
No, you go ahead.
What about the big East Coast contest coming up this weekend?
Yeah, you know, we should have went there. Me and you probably would have won it, but
yeah, we better. I'm just glad we didn't, because it probably would have hurt some feelings.
yeah, you know how it is.
Yeah, 2 day hunters on the East Coast, they wouldn't have had a chance.
Hey, I'm telling you what, especially us, because we can hunt day and night. I tell you what, I'm turning into a night hunter. You know that?
Are you?
Dude, that new optical dynamics light that we're using, I will put my hand on a Bible, and this is no baloney. I mean, I'm trying not to cuss. That's why I say baloney and all these other stupid words. So anyway, it's white light, and I promise, Scott, if I had, I would have told you. I'd tell everybody on Facebook that's watching. I am not kidding you. I have not scared one animal with that white light yet, including pigs, foxes, and coyotes from northern Colorado all the way to Texas. And Stearman and his partner Casey Hayes, regulators, I'm not joking you. They shined over 20 coyotes last weekend and not at that contest, and not one of them looked away.
Huh.
And this is in Colorado. Them boys for 20 years wouldn't even look at nothing unless it was a red light, you know.
Yeah. Well, I think I don't know, since I can't hunt at night. I don't really know the ins and outs of a lot of that stuff, but I got I saw they have 122 teams
For the East Coast deal?
Yeah, my sleeper team is Mike King and the real East Coast legend Ben Hartsfield.
Yeah, the real
the real East Coast legend.
Yep.
They have enough side pots that those boys are going to get in on some money. I'm telling you right now. That's my sleeper team.
I don't. I'd go with that. You know, gosh dang it, I wanted to go out there and just hang out, but I'll be honest.
Oh, it's fun.
You know, I'll be honest with you. With that little bit of trouble I got in on Facebook a while back over that cease and desist and that copyright infringement, I don't know who likes me and who don't anymore. So I don't know if I wanted to waste my gas money. I wouldn't
worry about it. Well, I was talking to a guy the other day. Well, yesterday, as a matter of fact. Usually that stuff, and I've told you this, just keep your mouth shut and let it pass. 2 or 3 days, it's done, it's forgotten about, and nobody remembers. And you know yourself, I mean, you showed me the analytics, what is it called? Like on the call sales, how much of it, how very little, what a minute amount of call sales are generated through Facebook.
Yeah, you're right.
And people think, oh Lord, I'm done because I got a bad rap on Facebook today. Hell, that's not what's selling the calls. They sell calls. Don't get me wrong, but it's not the end of the world if.
I tell you what, my problem is they got mad at me in 2 different instances last summer. I got my sponsors emailed, and that ain't very good, boy. It makes you look kind of bad whether you're in the right or the wrong.
Yeah.
Facebook is, and that's what I was talking about with numbers a while ago. You know, nowadays people are talking about, they got all these likes and all these yada, yada, yada. And if you can read analytics, I was really scared this time last year. But going into SHOT Show this next week, I'm really proud. I got my head up. I'm motivated. I'm really going to try to put on a good show and take care of my partners. And I will tell you right now, that marketing director's Facebook is, that's social media. Everybody wants digital, yada, yada, yada. But Facebook is just, it's not even, you've heard me say, it's not even a pimple on an elephant's ass,
Well, and the thing about it, where I see it, where I work, there are a lot of guys that hunt coyotes. Now, when I say they hunt coyotes, they might only go out once or twice a year, but they hunt coyotes.
Yeah.
And you don't know how many people that I've heard say, now, what about them Fox Pro calls? What are those? Because they've gone to the store and they've seen the Flex Tone and they've seen this brand and that brand, and they might have seen Fox Pro, but it doesn't, it doesn't ring a bell with them. They don't know the difference between this one, this one, this one, this one, this brand.
Yeah.
And so now when they open that magazine up, and there's an ad in there, and there's a Fox Pro, and then there's the Flex Tone, and then there's so on and so on. That's where they get their initial deal, and then when they go to the store, like you said, if it's on the shelf, that's the big deal.
Yeah, that's one thing, and people still think I push product because I mention product. So how TV works is we're the only industry in the world that pays for their airtime to be on TV. Other networks pay, and you know this, Scott, I'm just telling the people at home this. So in other industries, like National Geographic, CMT, and all them reality channels and stuff, So what they do is they pick up your show and they air it, and you get X amount of dollars, $7, 8, $10,000 an episode, whatever, for hosting it, yada yada yada. Well, in the hunting world, we actually buy our airtime, and
I know.
it's like one of them experiments that people come up with and say, "Why didn't I think of that?" Because the whole world thinks that the minute you go on TV, the minute you go on TV that you're a superstar, and that is totally. I used to think that 12 years ago. That's totally not true. So when you invest $150,000 a year to be on television, and you're not a rich kid or you don't have a trust like me, you're sweating bullets. And so we have to sell sponsorships. We have to sell airtime, and usually on Dog Soldier we just use the products and it comes out in the wash. But holy crap, Facebook and TV is getting more and more. Like there's YouTube channels, and there ain't quite. Yeah, there's maybe one channel, or there's a few channels putting out more views on YouTube hunting than they're getting on television, and that says a lot. CarbonTV.com is live. We air on Carbon as well. Netflix is taking hunting shows now. Amazon Prime. There's so many things to showcase hunting products or showcase your personality or your hobbies or whatever you want to do. And like, I don't know if you've ever heard, you know what the Golden Moose Awards are, Scott?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you how bad TV is, and I don't care who's watching this, because it is what it is, and this is just how it is. Okay, plain and simple. So every year at SHOT Show, there was the Golden Moose Awards for the Outdoor Channel and the Outdoor Sportsman Choice Awards for the Sportsman Channel. Well, then they merged 3 years ago, so then they was just like the Outdoor Sports Awards or some crap like that. So every year they would put on a big party, super big parties 10 years ago, and it just started dwindling off, just a normal old regular whatever. And it kind of was like the Grammys for the hunting world or whatever you want to call them. This year they aired the Golden Moose Awards live from the guy's office. Yeah. So,
well,
so that's where the TV world's going. The channels are struggling. TV people are struggling. Man, I don't even know what we got off on our tangent. Do you remember what we was talking about?
No. Crap.
So outdoor TV's like, it's my job, or I'd quit tomorrow if it wasn't my career. It's like trucking. Once you get in so deep, you can't get out, You just got to keep going and keep going and keep going. What's coyotes doing in your area right now, Scott?
Somebody said they shot one the other day that was spotting, but who knows? I don't take I don't take much into account. I'd kill them in the middle of the summer that were spotting.
Yeah, I hear you. And for people listening at home, spotting is the females bleeding a little bit when they're horsing, which horsing's in heat.
That makes it a lot clearer for those at home.
Yeah. So horsing means when the female's in heat, or when something's. Anyway, you guys get it. See, I've not been coyote hunting since I left Todd's. I come home, and then I done a deer hunt with an air gun in Missouri, which I do want to add people that there's a new big bore coming out on the market that is a tank, and we're gonna hunt. We got to hunt in April or May, or whenever you say it's the best, Scott. We got to do that for sure.
Okay.
Finally that thing's coming out. Last year I said, yeah, we get this new air gun. Well, it's coming. I tell you what, the thing's got so much power you won't even believe it.
Huh. Well, hopefully I'll have a house by then, and then, I sold my good dog to Trappin' Vance's partner, his sidekick Kyle, and Kyle's back on the road again, so I've got that dog.
Yeah.
And so I've got a good dog, so I think I can put some in our laps, and hopefully Kyle will be on the road, because he actually
shoots worse than Vance. He missed the Bobcat at 30 yards with the shotgun this weekend. So we'll try to maneuver, work our way around those two, and kill something with the air gun.
Yeah, I tell you, jeez. I that's one thing I've been doing a lot here lately. Been focusing on shooting so I don't miss. I feel like I can damn sure improve.
Man, I don't
some
know. I've watched you kill 27, 28 coyotes anywhere from 30 yards to 290 yards, and I haven't seen you miss yet. So,
well, that's that's just because I was lucky. I think I did miss once this year already, but I tell you where I lack at is long range.
well,
I missed that that 170-inch mule deer I killed in Colorado.
yeah,
I missed that deer the day before.
you told me that.
Yeah, and you want to talk about bringing a guy to his milk? I'd never missed a big buck in my life, and I was just if I'd have had time, I'd have been heartbroken severely. Um, oh man, I did not like missing that deer, and so now I'm kind of where I just feel like, and you know me as good as anybody. My stuff's wore out and trashed up looking, and I don't take good care of my optics. I throw them around, and I should start paying a little more attention to my tools and get to know them a little better.
Me too.
Hey, speaking of tools, Axion Optics, and I think it might be axionoptics.com. Just Google Axion Optics, y'all can find it. The new scopes are finally here, Scott, and I mean, I'm telling you right now, there's a guy. Are you a member on Instagram?
Yeah.
If you go like Axion Optics on Instagram, one of the research and development guys have been throwing this scope around, leaving it laying out in the rain, frozen hot, just screwing this scope all up. He left it in the back of his Ford truck with one of them hard plastic bed liners in it,
Yeah.
where everything just slides around and just bounces all over everything. He put it in that for a week. Him and his boy were out in the yard playing football with it the other day, and neither one of them could play football. So, I mean, the scope was hitting the ground more than anything, I'm telling you right now, I think Axion's onto something. It's a price point scope, $200 range or less. I'm shooting the 4x12 and the 3x9 40 millimeter Hunter series. So I've not even got the top of the line. I'm just shooting the Hunter series that they sent me right now with 1-inch tubes. And you know what? I remember the Citron days. I remember the Leupold VX1 days, when you go out and just buy what you could afford, but you couldn't buy a piece of crap, but you had to spend enough to get something good,
Yeah.
Holy crap. I think we got it now. And I know you shoot some higher end optics, if I remember right.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, you could buy like 100 scopes for one.
Yeah.
The O'Neill guys, speaking of high end optics, the O'Neill guys have been laying down some coyotes I seen, and they posted a video on YouTube the other day. Pretty good stuff.
Yeah. But, back to the deal on the high end optics, I've got some that are, I don't know that you can buy better, but I've also got some that are very affordable and excellent optics. So,
yeah,
and believe me, I don't kill any more coyotes because I've got a $3,000 optic on a rifle versus a $200. They don't come in to look at the scope. I promise.
Yeah, that's bells and whistles, or it's what a guy wants. I know a guy that if it ain't a Swarovski, he will not even look through it or mount it on his scope or his gun. I don't know. That's like how I designed the FLX 500. I just wanted something user-friendly, simplistic. I don't know if I did it right. I think we were successful at the FLX 500. I think.
They don't make a call in that price range that can even scratch a tire.
I appreciate that.
I mean, and that's the truth. That call is tough, It sounds good. The remote works great on it. Plenty. It's clear, and I don't call that loud, but it's got plenty of volume for those that think you need to blast that shit all over the place. But yeah, you did all right with it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm ready for a new. We've been working on some new stuff. I'm ready for that stuff to kind of start trickling its way in and try to do something. Um, the market is changing a little bit, you know. The price points are coming down. Obviously, you know, it's like everything else. Things gets cheaper over time, and that don't necessarily mean the quality. Um, so yeah, I'm anxious to see with Trump in office. You know what happens with um, you know, overseas manufacturing. Um, you know, the problem is, you know, a lot of there ain't enough people in the United States to make, you know, or capable of making some of the stuff this country needs. You know, it's kind of a funny deal. Um, I can make a pipe though, so I guess I'm happy. Not a marijuana pipe for all you marijuana smoking junkies out there. Don't say Steve Kreider's on your bus. That's not what I'm getting at. It's a tobacco pipe. Man, I tell you what, I didn't know there was that big a market for a tobacco pipe. You need to start smoking a tobacco pipe, Scott.
Bullshit. No, I don't.
It's cleaner than that chewing tobacco.
I don't chew.
Oh, you don't?
Hell no.
It makes me
No.
puke. I can't chew.
Oh, it's just all I do is cocaine and hookers.
I knew when we started talking about chewing tobacco, you were going to come up with something like that.
And for the record, I do not do cocaine. I have never done cocaine. I never will. I don't even know that I've done a hooker. I've paid for it in one way or the other, but not directly. So let's just clear that up.
All right, everybody. Public announcement.
Enough of that.
So, in the news today, I do want to talk about Varmint X ammunition. So, Scott's been with me a lot hunting, and he's seen me shoot a lot of coyotes. He's seen me shoot them from close to far off. And tonight's podcast is brought to you by Winchester Firearms and Ammunition. Now, Winchester Ammunition, you can go to winchester.com and look at all the ammunition options. And you can also go to winchesterguns.com to look at the Coyote Light and the 94 and some of the other stuff I've been using. But to talk about Varmint X real quick, this is a 55 grain bullet. It's polymer tipped. It's designed to do what other polymer tipped bullets are. It's designed to hit the animal, release a lot of energy, and minimal pelt damage. 3,680 feet per second out of the box of Varmint X, and of course that depends on your barrel length and all that jazz, yada, yada, yada. Varmint X. Scott, how many coyotes, and I keep track of this stuff, and you probably do too because you're smart and you soak up a lot of stuff. How many coyotes you seen me blow up? Like, oh man, we can't skin that one blowed up.
Not a single one. None.
And I'm not joking. This year, I blew up one coyote this year, and it's because I shot it in the top of the back. I do not, and I've been shooting that 243, and I think that's what I was shooting when I was with you.
The 250.
250. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been shooting that 243, man. So the Varmint X comes in different calibers, but I've been shooting the 243 Varmint X ammo. And it's a 243 58 grain bullet, same Varmint X bullet as a 250, just different caliber. So I shot a bobcat in Oklahoma, Scott. The bobcat was 60 yards. Well, okay, the first bobcat I killed was a little female, and she was about 60 yards facing me. I punched her right in the chest. It didn't come out her back, and that was with a 243. 4 or 5 days later, I shoot a big-ass tom, weighed 25.1 pounds. Shot him right behind, kind of not in the shoulder, but right behind the shoulder. He's kind of quartering to us a little bit. No pelt damage whatsoever on either cats. So, are you still shooting that one ammo that annihilates hogs' heads?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
That when I went down to Texas and we killed all those hogs, Heath was with us on one of those trips, and my goodness, that shit is wicked. If you're wanting to save pelts or concerned about fur, it's not your selection.
Yeah. I'm not so much, and this is a good topic for all the people on the live feed to discuss if they want to, and I can kind of see the messages here and there. So, pelt damage, yay or nay, good or bad. Me personally, I like the Varmint X because I take a lot of pictures, and do a lot with the coyotes after we kill them, and it's nice for the guts not to fall out or them to bleed all over you all the time. But me personally, if I blew one plumb in two, I wouldn't care. But have you been hearing any fur price information or anything, Scott?
No, I don't have a clue.
I heard they were up, and a lot of people at home. One thing, and I don't do a good enough job at it. And I skinned a bobcat in Oklahoma and filmed a piece on it and stuff like that, and we actually ate that bobcat. You want to talk about good? Have you ever ate bobcat backstraps?
No.
Oh, we gotta try it. It's good stuff. Just take the bobcat tenderloin, slice it in little chunks, put it in jalapeno with cream cheese, wrap it in bacon, and you're rocking, man. It's good, good, good stuff. But with that being said, one thing I think I could do is probably educate people better on the fur market, because now it's getting up there good. Like Stearman's, getting $25 on the carcass for an unblowed up coyote. Well, that's almost a box of shells. And anymore, that's just good stuff,
Oh yeah.
When you can get, if you shoot, I've shot about 50 coyotes this year, maybe. That's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, sure.
But, so he's talking about eating bobcat backstraps, and we are a little bit delayed from the chat room, but MFK Game Calls, which is Dave, he said he's ate plenty of cat.
Dave.
Yeah. What about old Dave?
Dave needs to come see me when I get my building built.
He's not very far from you. He's in Kansas City now, up there with all his brothers.
Yeah. I think he's probably around 5 hours.
Yeah, Kansas City. Let's see, you're 3. Yeah, probably, and that's going straight to Bolivar and then over. I was 3.5 hours almost from you.
Trap and Vance sent me a text. Here's your fur update.
Okay.
Oklahoma coyotes are $12 on the carcass, and cats are 30 to 90s on the carcass right now.
Okay.
So.
$12 on the carcass. Man, I remember when I used to get 10 and was awful happy for it, because I remember a lot of days you wouldn't get 0.
Yeah.
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 That's shoot, man. What do you think about the Fox Pro MFK relationship?
I think it'll be a good deal.
I do too. I think it was a good move on both parties. Obviously there's black tape there, and I'm on the other side of the fence of one of the participants, but I'm happy for everybody because it makes us strong,
The thing about it is, they were probably, their concern was MFK, the kind of the bad boy attitude and all that. And, those guys, they're just honest. They tell it like it is. They're as good as they come. And, shoot, that's going to bring money to them, because
absolutely.
They definitely needed something to step in there and put a positive light on Fox Pro. Your main face has got to be positive and to make people want to buy your product and think about your product, rather than saying, no, I'm not even going to look at that shit because so-and-so is so-and-so.
Yeah.
So I think it'll be good for everybody involved.
Yeah, right now it's kind of, like I said, it's not really that funny in the industry. On my side of the fence, looking at the business aspect and looking at the different things that's going on, it is funny. But looking at the social media side, it is very It's not funny. It's screwed up. Everybody knows that I'm not a Facebook fan. I post on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that crap all the time because I'm bound by contract. I will tell you all right now, if they took Facebook out of contracts, you all would have to come to YouTube or Instagram to hang out with me because I absolutely hate Facebook. And it is so diluted now. I believe ICO did it first, but ICO Tech implemented a plan to get 5 million pro staffers, and then Mike Dillon responded and got 6 million. Well, so now, I mean, it's just like, and I'm not dogging anybody. I'm glad. I remember the day when Al Morris called me, and I won't tell the whole story how he found me, but it was, I made my own DVD, yada, yada, yada. HS found me. Al Morris called me and offered me a gig. The first thing out of my mouth is, well, how much does it pay? And he told me it pays $100 a day when I'm filming and $100 a day when I'm doing seminars, all expenses paid. And within a year, I was making a second salary more or less because I was running so hard for HS. And I seen it and I ran for it. These companies today, if you say, what's it pay? You know what's going to happen? They're gonna move to the next guy because Facebook has given a platform. Facebook has given a platform for people to be, and I'm not saying they're not, but it gives people like me, for instance. I've took advantage of digital platform because I don't want people to think I'm picking on anybody or knocking down anybody. But look at it this way: I'm a very well-known pipe maker on Instagram. And I've sold, this is no joke, I've sold over 45 pipes in 6 months, and I'm damn good at it. Because I'm just, I'm a finished carpenter by trade, and I knew how to use all the tools, the lathes and everything, and Beazle Brian helped me, get to know the lathe better to make these pipes. So I found a really good pipe maker. Me and him became really good friends. He shared my stuff on Instagram one time. And now I'm a pipe maker. And 6 months ago, I was not a freaking pipe maker,
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do the pot calling the kettle black or talk out of both sides of the mouth because I've utilized social media to become a very good holster smith, to become a pipe maker. I'm custom spinning acrylic and wooden hand calls right now that I believe is very good. And you know what? I wasn't a call maker a month ago.
Yeah.
But I am now because Facebook allowed me to reach so many people. So when ICOTech implemented the million pro staffer plan and other companies responded with 2 million people, holy crap, it just,
Well, the thing about it, what I hated about that is, and nothing again. I'm not singling out anybody.
Me neither.
I'm not going to mention any names because I'm not even thinking of any names. But when you've got guys on your staff, I realize it's a promotional staff. When you got a guy on there promoting your product, and it's a coyote call, it's an electronic call, and that guy hasn't killed 5 called coyotes in his life.
Yep.
That makes no sense to me. I'm not going to go buy a product because somebody pops up on Facebook and creates their own little page and they say, hey, use this ammunition, use this light, use this scope, use this rifle. I'm like, well, wait a minute. This cocksucker killed 2 coyotes last year out of a deer stand. You didn't even call them in.
Yeah.
And then you got all that pro staff. That used to be a deal. It's like, yeah, these guys, that guy, they're on so-and-so's staff, and whether it was promotional or whatever you wanted to use the term, they were studs.
Yeah.
And like, hey, listen to these guys. Now it's so watered down that it's a joke. I've had opportunities to be on promotional staffs, and I don't care anything about it. I wouldn't touch it.
I think I've finally signed. I am a pro staffer now. Umarex USA has 1 pro staffer, and I'm it. I hope, and I'm not sounding arrogant or anything like this. I may have told you the story. I hope I'm not responsible for some of this. You know, well, I'll just say it. I guess Icotech, back when I left Hunter Specialties, tried to hire me, and we almost came to an agreement. But I told him about a marketing plan that I wanted to implement in the predator hunting industry, and it's called, for the people at home, it's called guerrilla marketing, and it's not what it sounds like, but guerrilla marketing is a grassroots campaign where you got feet on the ground, word of mouth, you're spreading the word of your good products, and you're selling products. That didn't mean Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
I always wanted to have a good call company that I had a little bit of say so, where I could implement a good grassroots campaign and have a field staffer in every state.
Yeah.
Field staffer, not pro staffer or promotional staffer, field staffer. And if you had a guy in every state, and see, back in the day, and they still do it, but back in the day when I was working full time for HS, you know, we had to do 2 or 3 Cabela's a year, you know, at all these specials. And then when the pro staff couldn't go to these deals, they'd have field staff guys fill in at these stores. You know, them days have died. You remember when the Outdoor World, Bass Pro, the Outdoor World there in Springfield, you remember when they had their Fall Classic and it was like a big outdoor trade show? You remember that?
Yep, it was a big deal.
Dude, that was awesome. And I remember when Al hired me at Hunter Specialties, I remember when they booked me to go to Springfield, and I was like, man, I grew up, 45 minutes from there. I'm going to go give seminars. Everybody's going to see me. I'm going to get to talk to people. I'm going to have some good conversation and have a lot of fun, and I'm getting paid to do it. Life is great. I show up there, and I walk in it's the lower boat room now, but that's where it used to be, and there used to be booth after booth after booth after booth of these vendors, or the manufacturers, and the pro staffers would talk about product. I asked the lady, I said, am I in the wrong weekend, or what happened? She's like, no, just go back over, the hunting section. The year I started with HS was the year after they quit doing that big deal. And I remember going to that big deal and seeing Alex Rutledge and Eddie Salter and all them guys at HS, and I wanted to be a primetime guy so freaking bad. And I've told everybody this. About 3 weeks after they hired me full-time to be a primetime guy, I looked up at the ceiling laying in bed thinking, what in the hell have I gotten myself into? Really?
Yeah.
Shoot. Well, heck, it's been a good talking to you, Scott. It's been a good conversation as always. Try to have you on here before long again if you want to.
Yeah, I need to get out and start killing something before I forget how.
Yeah, I need to go. I tell you, Jared Mixon, I think's his name, lives here close, and I've been going to try to go with him, but when he's home, I'm gone, and when he's home again, I'm almost gone again. It's just hard to get everything pinned down,
Yeah.
But definitely going to go hunting with him. He seems like a good dude, and I appreciate the nice words. He said that you love me like a brother, and you would even kill people for me.
Oh, did he?
No, I just made that up.
I guess that would depend on if we were in a remote location.
There you go. Hey, I'm going to end with this. I got to tell you something. We're thinking about doing a documentary on Kodiak Island, hunting Kodiak with 3030 Model 94. So that's kind of the thing I'm excited about right now.
Good luck with that.
Hey, who else better to pull off something stupid, right?
Well, you think if you could pull it off, that'd be great.
I'm going to try. So, did you see my tomahawk Mark McCoon made me?
Yes.
Okay, so I traded it back to him. I got me a war hammer. Steve Kreiner will never be bit by a coyote again. Bill already told me I'm allowed not to kill anything on video with my war hammer.
Yeah, that probably is like some of those terrier guys got in trouble killing shit with hammers.
All right. Well, Scott, stay out of trouble. Thanks for joining me tonight. It was a good conversation. I need to get off my butt and actually talk to these people about something. I don't know. I hope everybody likes the podcast. I don't know if they're. I don't know. I just like having good conversation. I think this is what podcasts are supposed to be. I don't know if I'm supposed to try to sell people stuff and tell them I know everything or what. I don't know.
I'm sure those that listen will have much more success after listening to all the knowledge we just spilled tonight.
Well, you know what? They'll either get in a lot of trouble or they'll kill a lot of stuff. I mean, it's pretty much.
Well, I'll just leave with Clay's famous words: "Play the rabbit."
Play the rabbit. All right, everybody, you heard it straight from Scott Hampton himself. Scott, thanks for being on. We'll catch you later, brother.
All right, we'll see you.
All right, see ya. Hey guys, I hope you like the podcast. You know, every week I do these podcasts and I watch them back on YouTube, and I since I'm living them, I don't actually get to watch them, or I don't actually get to listen because they are on iTunes or SoundCloud.com. But listen, I want to tell you guys right now that I'm looking at analytics right now, and there's been about 300 people come and go off and on through this podcast. And I love you guys for it. If it wasn't for you guys, none of this stuff would be possible. And it's just plain and simple, man. Without you guys, we can't do anything. So what I want you to do is I want you, obviously, to go to youtube.com/Dog Soldier TV, this channel. Subscribe, click the dinger. But if you got an iPhone, go to iTunes. Click review. Give me a review. I don't care if it's bad. If you think I suck, let me know I suck. If you guys think I'm good, give me a 5-star rating. If you don't have iTunes, go to SoundCloud.com. Just search Plain and Simple Predator Hunting. You can find it there. You can rate it. You can subscribe to it. You can do all kinds of cool stuff. That way you can listen to it on your phone when your wife's cooking dinner for you and she's talking to you. You can just put your earbuds in and listen to something useful. Listen, guys, I love you guys more than you know. Thanks for supporting us. With that being said, this is episode, I think, 15 or 16, and I absolutely love these podcasts. I love you guys for watching them. Peace out, homies. I'll catch you guys next time. I'll announce on Facebook and YouTube when the next podcast is coming up. And remember, kill damn coyotes and thank a veteran, because without them, none of this is possible. Peace out, homies.